Okay, just a couple things. I'll talk about kind of where we're at right now, and then any questions. Let's just address the assistant coach spot right now. I'm probably not going to do anything before July. In fact, I'm probably going to wait until after July. I want to go out and continue to meet people, see people, kind of to see where the process goes. But I'm in no rush. And as far as I would say, if you ask me today, I'd probably wait until after July before we hire someone. Regarding our team, everyone's here for summer school except Stan Simpson. Stan will, he's got some academic work to finish. I expect him to get that completed and be here in the fall for fall semester start of the start of the year. The other thing is we've got Adonis here is in summer school. Drew Barm is in China with the AIA team playing. They're playing like the Chinese national team. Will Barton just competed in the Chris Paul camp, and Joe Jackson leaves on Friday for the 19 under tryouts, which if he makes a team, which I think would be great. So, but other than that, everyone's been doing. I mean, everything's pretty status quo. Coach Stoudemire has jumped both feet in. Has been working hard. Coach Murphy, I mean, those two have done a great job, and have done a great job with the recruiting in 12 and 13 and beyond. So, other than that, any questions? We'll go from there.
With Stan, is that testing or is that classes?
Well, with Stan Simpson, because it's a 4-2-4 transfer, meaning he was at a Division I, went to a junior college, and now to Division I. There's certain requirements he has to meet from NC2A eligibility. So it's not testing, it's classes. They're classes.
Josh, even though you're not allowed to be with them, you made such an emphasis on they have to show their will and what they want this summer.
Yeah.
Just having them back here and talking with them, not in there, but just in whenever you've been with them.
Yeah.
Do they have the right mindset, and how excited are they about this season and the work they got to put in now?
Well, they're very excited, and here's the thing. I've said many times, because we can't have the contact with them on the court, so it's stuff where it's off the strength and conditioning coach, even though Frank does not want to be called strength and conditioning coach. He wants to be called life changer. And I did say this, I've told everyone, I said, anyone that's asked me, I said he's the best in the country, flat out the best in the country. And that's gotten back to him, and he really was insulted by that. Because he's trained pros, elite pros, military, actresses and actors of A-list celebrities preparing for the Oscars or the Grammys, or to pregnant women, to everybody. And I've told everyone how he's the best in the country, and he got back to him, and he was very upset. He says, "How dare you say that?" I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "I'm the best in the world." And that's the truth. He's the best in the world. So the guys love him. He's, like I said, he's very positive. So his position is probably the most important part of the position right now, because that's where the contacts are made. And the guys know. I mean, they're not. The one thing is they fully understand is there's the talking about it, and the doesn't mean anything. We've got to produce on the floor, and from what the experiences they went through this past season, they know it's what we do this summer, and then into the fall will prepare us for going into the year. Because I'm just saying, we're going to have a monster non-conference schedule. My goal doesn't mean it's going to happen, because there's some things that have to kind of go in place, but my goal is for us to have a top 10 non-conference strength schedule. I think even in our bye games and the bye games where we don't return the game back to them, even our bye games where we're going to be good teams. So again, you never know how some teams will end up and stuff like that, but my goal is for us to have a top 10 non-conference strength schedule.
Josh, back to the Frank M situation. How much are you at liberty to tell us about how in the world you got the best life changer in the world to come to the University of Memphis?
Well, Frank, the thing with Frank is I've known him for a long time, but he's trained many guys. Here's my thing with Frank. I've told Frank, I said, "Hey, look, what are you competing for? What are you training for? Because you're not getting a ring if you win. I mean, you're training individuals which is great. But for him, I said, look, here's the thing. You can, in this spot, you can influence winning, have a direct result of us having a chance to win. So with that, and I said, look, plus with the the opportunity to have it be part of a team to win a championship. I mean, and you can be part of that and having, again, an influence on the winning part. So I think that kind of got him going, and we were fortunate to get him, and he's been great. I mean, the guys love him. The guys flat out love him.
Can we please talk to him?
He will not do any. He will not do any camera interviews. Only do print or radio. But I told him it's either all or none. So he's none.
Hey, there you go.
You talk about the Bluff. There was maybe speculation that last year maybe it led to some bad habits, and there was, well, maybe Josh won't let him play. Obviously, you let him play. That's not a concern.
Right. Let me say this on the Bluff. I think the Bluff is great for the city. I mean, you have Penny Hardaway, who's involved with the Bluff. I mean, you're gonna, Penny's an iconic figure in the city, and it's great for the Tiger Nation because they get to see their guys. Here's my thing with the Bluff. I think last year the problem was we'd have like Will Barton, who I love, would score 40, but his guy would score 45. And I think this year, and they would think, man, I'm going to come in Division I basketball and score 40 because maybe I scored 40 against guys who play in professional somewhere. I think this year they'll have an understanding is, okay, the Bluff, it's a pro-am league, but it's not an actual Division I college basketball game, and they'll have a better understanding that it's summer basketball, and that if you can score 60 points, it's what you do again as in being ready and being prepared as we enter into the regular season. And the Bluff's good for everybody. It's good for the fans. It's great for our guys. It's great for the entire city, and they should go out there and pack that place and support the guys, support the Bluff, because it's a great thing for basketball in the summer. And there's pros and our guys, but I think the understanding will be that it's a different level once you get to an organized game, as in terms of when you're preparing and with all the practice and stuff.
With that said, though, Josh, they're going to be playing basketball.
Of course.
Somewhere. How much do you worry about it? I think the only guy that we saw that wasn't on a roster was Tarek for right now. How much concern goes into an injury in something like this?
Mike, a lot of people ask about that. Let me tell you two things. Tarek's got a little tendonitis, so that's why he's taken off, not playing in it, just because he has tendonitis. So the trainer just recommended that he's working out with Frank, just that from the up and down stuff with basketball, just to take the month off, and which is just to because with tendonitis, the only way to heal that or lessen the pain is through rest. But to elaborate on that, though, that's why Joe making, before even going to the injury part, that's why Joe making the USA basketball team, if he can make it, is so good for him, because that is an organized environment where you're practicing twice a day and then playing in a hostile environment in another country against teams that are really preparing to beat you. And Joe has to make game time decisions and follow scouting reports. I think that's going to be great for Joe and for the Tigers if he's able to make the team. But the injury part, Mike, they play pickup. I mean, guys are going to play pickup, whether it's at the Bluff or they're going to play here or somewhere else. Guys are going to hoop. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, it's just the facts. And I think the good thing is with Penny and the people working with Penny to get the Bluff situated, they want really good players in there, so they know that it's not, because they got pros in there. So it's got to be a situation where a guy goes on they're playing real basketball, and it doesn't have somebody that's not at that level that can do any damage to anybody. So, but anytime you play, anything can happen, so you just can't worry about that.
Jason Terry, after winning an NBA title, took an opportunity to thank you for everything you did for him. I'm sure you've heard of it. Have you spoken to him? And what did it mean to you to be called out by somebody like that moments after they had won an NBA championship for something that happened years ago?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love Jason, and what happened was when I was at Arizona, I was working the guys out all the time. I was working out Bibby and Michael Dickerson and Miles Simon, and Jason wasn't working out with us. So I was a player, and we'd be late in the night. Well, when they all left and going Jason Senior, he came to me. He says, Josh, I need your help. He goes, I need to get my shooting better. And what happened was every morning we'd take 500-600 jump shots. We'd get there 6:30, 7 in the morning. 7 days a week, and he'd just make shots and shots and shots. Now, he ended up getting National Player of the Year that year, his senior year, and I'm not taking any credit for it. That's Lute Olson who did that. But my point is he developed a work ethic. He wanted to get extra shots in. And and what the amazing thing is from there, I remember Richard Jefferson, his first 2 years, was like, he was whatever, being a typical college guy, and his lifestyle wasn't good. And I remember Jason Terry and Mike Bibby told him, man, you need to change. You need to move out from where you're living, and you need to go live with Coach, because I was a coach at the time, and he ended up living with me. I was like a graduate assistant at the time, so he ended up living with me, and I had rules in the thing that there was nothing this. He abided by them, and he had an unbelievable junior year campaign because he just needed to change his life. So maybe Frank, maybe I should be the life changer, and Frank should be the coach or something like that.
You can be the best one in the country. He can still be the
you
world
go,
one. There's
the
no
world one.
conflict.
But no, so it's great from Jason. I mean, but you look at that. You look at those guys there. I mean, for Jason, I mean, he was unbelievable in the finals. And I'll tell you what else. What you see is in the Mavericks. I mean, how about they move the ball? You know, Rick Carlisle came and talked to our team, and he had a great talk. He talked to our team about 45 minutes, and I credit that talk from our team. I think changed their year around, and that's why they won the championship. I'm joking in saying that, but no, it's
his talk to your team changed your team, or
his talk to our team, but it gave him some ideas in his mind. You know, but
When did he talk to?
he talked to us after one of the games when we only won by a little margin, and everyone was saying we should have won by 30 and this and that, you know. So, but he ripped into our guys, because he was getting on them about playing not team basketball. He laid into them. It was a really good talk. And you know, here's I'm saying the same thing. Now he had some different 4-letter words that were used that I didn't use, but the message coming from him was better, because here's an NBA coach saying the same thing, but telling them, you know, you think you want to get to the league, it's not about that. You gotta, it's about winning, it's about moving the basketball, it's about the open man's the go-to man, stuff like that. So it was great for our guys.
So there's a good kind of mingling between the Mavericks and the Tigers in terms of.
Yeah, I guess if you want to say, I'm going to call them up for a ring. I guess, you know, now they're going to give back rings. So. Okay.